Hey everybody, so this is Dr. Lamro and this is a tutorial to explain how to navigate MindTap. So the first thing that you'll notice when you first land in MindTap is this list of readings and assignments. And I know it's a long list of reading and assignments, but remember it's an entire semester's worth of work, so nobody's asking you to do all of that right now. The first thing that you'll see is that there are two different kinds of icons. There's this icon that looks like a book, and there's this icon that looks like a piece of paper and pencil. The book icons are for the readings, and the paper and pencil are for the assignments. In each chapter, there are always two kinds of assignments. There are mastery training assignments and quizzes. Mastery training and quizzes. There are three other kinds of assignments that may or may not be in a chapter. There are apply psychology assignments. So you can see chapter 1 has 1 and chapter 12 has 2. There are video quizzes. So you can see chapter 12 has a video quiz and chapter 1 does not have a video quiz. And there are also essays. So the essays don't have the word essay in the assignment title, but by process of elimination, you can figure out which ones they are. So this is an example of an essay. This is the chapter 6 essay. So I have 3 more tutorials that dive into more detail in these things. I have a tutorial on how to navigate the ebook. I have a tutorial on how to use the mastery training. And I have a tutorial on how to use all of the tools that are available to you in the essay assignment. I very strongly recommend that you watch that tutorial. The essay assignment has a lot of very helpful tools, but unfortunately, they're not very intuitive to find or figure out. And those tools are really going to help you become better writers and get better grades. So I really want you to take advantage of them, and so I want you to watch the tutorial to make sure you know about them and you know how to use them. And the rest of this tutorial, I'm going to be talking about these icons. So the first thing to show you is this full book. So when you click the full book, you can see that you can jump to any chapter. So let's say we jump to chapter 1. So you can see that it dives kind of into more sections than what you get over here in the assignment list. So you can be a little bit more specific about which section you want to read. You can also jump to the end of the chapter and just look at the end of the chapter content, which isn't something you can do as easily in the assignment list. Otherwise, the content is exactly the same between these two things. You're reading the same book whether you look at it here or look at it here. You can also do a search. So you can search for a number of different things. So let's say we want to learn more about classical conditioning. So you can see that it's starting to auto-populate. It knows what we want to look for. And here it's defining classical conditioning for us. It's giving us other concepts that are related to classical conditioning. It's showing you other resources that are available to learn about classical conditioning. So if you want to see all the different resources that are available for a certain term, you can do a search and you can find all of those resources. You can also do something where, let's say you want to look up, maybe not a keyword, but you want to look up something that's relevant to you in the book. Let's say you want to learn more about Piaget, who is a very famous developmental psychologist, and now you'll see everywhere in the book where Piaget is mentioned. There's also a glossary, so this is pretty common. You should be familiar with something like this. This is in the back of every hard copy of a book, and it's just an alphabetical list of all the key terms. You can also see that there are flashcards. So MindTap has all these flashcards for every chapter, and you can just go through and select which chapter flashcards you want to look at. So you see a flashcard, you can flip it, look at the definition, you can flip it back, you can go to the next card, you can go to a previous card if you're like, wait a minute, I think I forgot what that one's about. You can create cards, so if there's a term that's not showing up, but you want to make sure that you quiz yourself on it, you can create a card. Lastly, if you're really sure that you know a concept, if you notice there are 51 cards here, and we'll hide this card, and now it's dropping to 50. So this is a way for you to kind of figure out what you know and what you don't know. And if you remember, on the exams, you're allowed to bring a note card. And so this would be a really good way to figure out which terms you need to know, you need to put on your note card, is the terms that you just can't remember. You're not able to hide those cards. Those are good candidates to put on your note card to take with you to the exam. Another thing to show you is this study hub. So in a study hub, you can create your own custom study guide. So you can click here, say, I want to create a study guide. Let's say we're going to do chapter 3, so we'll call this the chapter 3 study guide. We're going to put in the key terms, and if you watch the ebook tutorial, you'll see where I talk about how you can put notes and highlights in the ebook. You'll say create the study guide, and now you have a study guide, and you can look at all the different terms and all this custom content that you've created in your study guide. The last thing to talk about is this progress tool. So as a demo student, I actually haven't done any of the work, so there are no scores showing up here. Oh, well, that's odd. That might be because I'm a demo student and it doesn't know what to do when I haven't done anything. Normally what you'd see up here is you'd see a bunch of different analytics talking about how engaged you are with the MindTap experience, how much time you've been on MindTap, and things like that. This is also a really good place if you want to see whether or not you've gotten credit for something. So, for example, the mastery training, as you'll learn when you watch the mastery tutorial, you have to get to level 1 on all the concepts. And if you're not sure whether you've done that, you can always come over here and look and check and see what your score is for mastery training. And if you've received full credit for it, then you know that you've reached level 1 for all of the terms for that chapter. So that's it. There's a lot of stuff at first when you kind of first start interacting with it, but I think if you just get in there and play with it, it will make sense to you. There are a lot of really great tools that are available to you in MindTap, and I hope that you find that it's really useful and it helps you make sure that you stay on track in the class and that you have a lot of tools available to you to help you succeed.